everybody, how you all doing, and welcome to the latest episode of No BS Fitness Chat. Now, as we started the brand new 6-week six-pack, this question kept coming up over and over, and make no mistake, this is one of the most important aspects when it comes to your diet. If you want to get ripped quickly, that you need to understand. If you get this wrong, it doesn't matter what else you do, how hard you work out, you will never get the results you're looking for. What am I talking about? Portion size. You need to know how large your portion size needs to be, how much food you need to take in if you want to lose fat quickly. And make no mistake, it doesn't matter if you eat the healthiest foods in the world. If you eat too much of it, you will never see your six-pack abs and you will never get the results you're looking for. So in today's video, we're going to look at two of the most popular ways to determine your portion size, and we're going to compare them to each other to find out which one are the best and which one is going to get you the best results in the shortest possible time. Now, the two most popular ways to determine your portion size is the hand palm fist method and then calorie counting. Now, before we start looking at each one of them in more depth and look at the advantages and disadvantages of each and see which one is the best if you want to get results quickly, let's first look at what is the hand palm fist method and what is calorie counting for those people that don't know. Now, first, let's look at the hand palm and fist method. Basically, what this is you use your hand and your fist and the palm of your hand to determine portion sizes. And that is even extended where people will start looking at the size of your thumb for certain things that you need to include in your diet. For example, the palm of your hand normally equates to the amount of protein or the size of the protein. Like, for example, a chicken breast, the size of the palm of your hand, that should be the size of your portion size of your protein for that specific meal. As far as the carbohydrates, they normally talk about the size of your fist. So a sweet potato should be the size of your fist, for example. And then they've extended, like I've said, for example, they'll say the fats you need to use needs to be about the amount or the size of your thumb. So let's say a quarter of an avo, for example. And that is basically how the hand palm fist method works. You use your hand, your palm, and your fist to determine your portion sizes. When it comes to the calorie counting method, basically what happens is you will take one of the formulas, and there are many formulas and calculations out there, and you will determine the amount of calories that you need to take in each day to lose weight. Then you will determine, depending on what kind of macronutrients ratio your diet or formula advise you to take. Let's say, for example, 40% of that calories needs to come from protein, 30% of that calories needs to come from fats, and 30% needs to come from carbs. You will then determine how much calories 40% of your amount of total calories that you determined is protein. So let's say, for example, you determine that you need to eat 1,000 calories. Now, 40% of those calories needs to be protein. So 400 of your calories needs to come from protein. You will then determine how much that is, how many chicken breast or whatever other protein. And you will then, as you go through the day, count the calories to make sure you never go over that amount of calories per day. And that will be the same for your protein, your fats, and your carbs. And you will then, throughout the day, wherever you go, whether you go to a restaurant, whether you make your own food, you will count your calories, determine the amount of grams of protein, fats, and carbs, calculate that into the total amount of calories, and then as you go through the day, count your calories to make sure you never go over that certain amount, and so stay within the range that's going to help you lose fat. So let's now look at the advantages and disadvantages of each one of these methods, and then we'll look at which one are the best to lose fat quickly at the end of the video. So let's start with the hand palm and fist method. Well, the main advantage of the hand palm fist method is basically that we all have a hand, we all have a palm, we all have a fist, so you have it with you. You don't have to calculate anything. It's very simple, and most of the time when you come off an unhealthy diet or you haven't been following a diet or weight loss program for a while, the truth is that you are eating way too much calories anyway. And the portion size that you'll determine using your hand palm and fist method is actually normally way less than what you've been eating that actually got you fat in the first place. So the main advantage is that it's simple, you have it right here with you wherever you go, and it's very visual as well. So for example, I can see, here's the size of my fist, that's the size of the sweet potato I need to eat, or the size of the chicken breast or whatever I need to eat. So it's visual and it's very simple, and you have it with you. So those are the advantages of the hand, fist, palm method. The main disadvantages of the hand palm fist method is, number one, it's not very accurate. Okay, you don't actually know whether that portion size there is too much for your weight or too little for your weight. You might be a 250-pound beast full of muscle, and then you want to eat a portion size that's determined on your hand, and that might be a bit of a problem because it will probably be way too little for you. The second main disadvantage of hand palm fist method is that your hand doesn't get bigger and smaller as you get bigger and smaller. And one of the biggest problems is that when you start losing weight, you need to also start eating less. You can't continue to calculate your calories in the beginning of a weight loss program, and then as you lose weight, continue to eat that same amount that you calculated in the beginning and think you're going to continue losing weight. No, as you lose weight, you need to also decrease your calories, yet your hand and your palm and your fist all stays the same. So at some stage, you're going to start eating as many calories as you expand, and that means you're not going to continue losing the weight that you want to lose weight. So the main disadvantage is it's not very accurate, and the size of your hand, palm and fist as you get bigger or smaller doesn't actually increase by yourself. And if you do, you should be on some kind of TV show, because that's not normal. But those are the main advantages and disadvantages of the hand, palm and fist method. Now, as far as calorie counting, the main advantage is that it is very accurate. You can determine very accurately how much you weigh, what your muscle mass is, what your body fat percentage is, and then calculate an amount of calories that you need to consume to lose weight according to those figures. The two main disadvantages of counting calories is, number one, it's not very visual. You see a number, let's say 400 calories. You can't really relate to how many protein or carbs or fats that actually is. So it's just numbers, and you will still need to go and do the work and determine exactly how many chicken breast 400 grams of protein or calories are. Then the second problem is that it can be extremely tedious and time consuming and frustrating, especially if you move around a lot, you're a business person and you don't always have the calories and information about the meal. Let's say you go to a restaurant with you and you can't continue to count calories. So those are the main disadvantages and advantages of counting calories. So which one are the best? Well, the truth is that both of them can be extremely important and helpful at certain stages of calculating and creating your diet to lose weight. For example, most of my clients, when they start out, go on the hand, palm and fist method. Why? Like I've said in the beginning, most people are overeating. They're eating too many calories already. So the fact is that your hand, palm and fist method is a simple way to get beginners to get going, to make sure they don't get frustrated. They can easily determine their portion sizes, and most of the time that portion size is going to be smaller than the one they were on when they weren't in shape, and that means they're going to continue getting results. In fact, I've had people get completely ripped only using the hand palm method. Why? Because the hand, palm and fist is actually quite small and the calories was quite small, and they never hit a plateau and they never had to adapt or move onto calorie counting. So when it comes to the hand, palm and fist method, I like to use it for people who are starting out, because it takes away one of those hurdles of counting calories and getting frustrated. And the fact is, then the smallest thing can make someone stop a new diet or weight loss program if they haven't been doing it for a while. And counting calories, that can be quite complicated and tedious and time consuming, is a big thing that can get someone to easily say, you know what, I had enough, I'm stopping. So when someone starts out, I normally put them on a hand, palm and fist method, and we will continue that until we start seeing the results decreasing and they're not getting the rapid results, whether it is building muscle or losing weight, that I'm looking for in my clients every single week. So that is when I start using the hand palm method. However, at some stage you're going to get to a point where the hand palm and fist method is just not going to cut it anymore. The kind of portion size that you're developing with your hand palm and fist might be too much calories or too little calories, depending if you want to build muscle or lose fat quickly. And that is where calorie counting comes in. So once you start hitting a plateau, it's great to calculate your calories, depending on which formula you want to use, decide how many fats, protein, and carbs you need to get in, determine your total calories, and then what I do with my clients is, for 2 days only, they will very strictly follow that calorie counting so that they can get an idea of what the portion sizes should look for. Then they can continue without having to count calories every single day until they get to that point where they're not getting the results we're looking for anymore. Then we will recalculate your calories, because that's one of the biggest mistakes people make. They think they can calculate the calories in the beginning of a weight loss program. Let's say they're 200 pounds, And then as they decrease, let's say eventually they get to 180 pounds, they hit a plateau and they don't know why, but they haven't adjusted their calories. They still have that same amount of calories they used when they were 200 pounds and they started their weight loss program. The fact is, as you lose weight every 2 to 3 weeks or every 5 to 10 pounds, you need to recalculate your calories to bring it back in line, to make sure you continue to take in less calories than you expand each day, and so get the results you're looking for. So there you go. That's my take on the method of how to determine your portion size and how to use it and when to use it. To round up, I like to use the hand palm method for everybody who haven't been training for a while, or haven't been in a fat loss program, or even a beginner who's just starting out, because most of the time it's going to help you get the results you're looking for. However, at some stage that method is not going to cut it anymore, and then it's great when you get a little bit more advanced and when you've been doing a fat loss program for a while to get onto the calorie counting method, even if you just use it for a day or two to see what your new portion sizes should look for, and then continue to get the results you're looking for. So there you go. And remember, most things in the fitness industry, one isn't really better or worse than the other one. One is just used differently to the other one and provides a different purpose. And today's video is an exact example of two different methods. Both can work, but both have the advantages and disadvantages, and you need to use the one that you enjoy and the one, most importantly, that helps you get the results you're looking for. But what are your comments? As always, like this video if you like it, leave your comments below, and if you have any questions, put them below and let's have a chat. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you guys next time. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.